Hi guys, it's Ray. If you watched yesterday's cup, the Mom of Girls cup, this is the Mom of Boys version. This one's kind of going to be more subtle overall colors wise and just all the way around. It's just going to be more blend together. So but I'm going to do the full vinyl wrap on this. This is HTVRONT. This is heat sensitive color changing vinyl, but it doesn't change to like 113 degrees. So most likely in like the sunshine or the heat of summer, you're going to see more of a change. Right now it's winter, it's cold in here, it's freezing outside. The only way I'm going to be able to show you the color change is to apply heat to it. I am going to show one on a ceramic mug where the heat from inside the cup will change the outside. That will not happen with a sealed stainless steel tumbler. It shouldn't happen, I should say, because the double wall vacuum keeps the outside cooler. So this is good for all those like plastic color change cups and things like that, but you don't really put hot stuff in a plastic cup to begin with. So more ceramics for this one, they do have a cold color change, which would be perfect for your plastic cups, especially if you do the ones that have a color change to begin with. You'd end up with two different color changes on the same cup. I don't have any of those, and I don't have any color change cold vinyl, so it doesn't matter. But we're going to get to it. I'm going to put this on first, and then I will show you the color change in a few. I didn't draw a line or anything, so I'm just going to apply it as best I can. This is a thicker vinyl though, so it actually works really well as a wrap. And I'm going to trim my edges so they're even, so I'm not worried about lining these up so much anyways. So, scoot that out of the way. I'm just going to burnish it down real quick, just to give it that good bond. Try and get any air out of there. I think I do have one little bubble here that I think I can work to the bottom. Perfect. So that is that. My decal, I caught on the greenish blue metallic. Also HTVRONT. They sent me this. There's 8 or 9 sheets in here. I can't remember exactly. But they sent me this pack of matte metallic vinyl to test out, and it is beautiful vinyl. But I went with this greenish color that you can see here. So that's what I went with for my decal. I'm going to grab my transfer tape that's right here. This stuff cut and weeded really nicely. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. This piece of transfer tape's getting a little bit old, so it might not stick quite as easily. You know, I like to use my transfer tape several times. And I'm going to put glitter at the top and the bottom, so I'm going to leave a good bit of room for that. Just kind of trying to eyeball it semi-straight. Lay it on there. Stick it down pretty well. And I'm going to burnish it again, just to make sure that metallic gets a really good bond. Sometimes the specialty vinyls like to try and lift under your epoxy. And I'm going to grab my vinyl trimmer, and I'm going to spin my cup around and trim the top edge even. And this is adjustable, so you can make a bigger or a smaller edge. But because of the curve of the bottom, I need it set a little bit bigger than the bare minimum setting this one has. If you watch me do the Mama Girls ones, you'll see that. So hopefully that was a full straight edge. Good. Trying to get that unstuck from my hand. And I'm just going to push out these last few bubbles at the bottom. So that's that. That's the bare bones base of the cup. I'm going to burnish this back down too. I really should have trimmed it before. So this is the glitter I'm going to use on this one. I'm going to bring this over to the heater for 1 second. Okay, so you can see with the color change what this particular color of the vinyl looks like. My hand is cold, so it's going to change back fairly quickly. But this is the glitter I'm going to use, Caribbean from LMNOP, because it's got that little bit of turquoise shift to it. So I'm actually just going to pour a little bit in a cup just so I have it ready to go. But it's a really pretty glitter. I think it's going to work well with these colors in all phases of the shift. So I'm going to move these over to the turner, and I will get my epoxy mixed up and I will be back. Okay, so I have my epoxy all mixed up and ready to go. I'm using a liquidy split for this, and it is pretty bubbly, and it's actually already starting to get pretty warm, so I'm going to have to move fairly quick applying this and probably apply a little bit more than I would originally intend. So yeah, but just gonna get this smoothed on as best I can and as quickly as I can, because I can feel it starting to set up underneath me, and that is not ideal. So yes, I am using my whole hand just to make this quicker. Okay, I'm gonna peel this outer glove off quick. And I have my glitter ready to go. So, yeah, quite a bit of epoxy on this paper. I'm actually going to grab a fresh piece of paper and put this to the torch real quick. I'm going to wipe some of that off of there. I thought I had a baby wipe handy, and I do. Perfect. All right. Okay. Yep, I stuck that right to it. Let's try that again, more carefully. It's actually the backing to the vinyl. I'm just going to torch it real quick. Just to pull some more of those bubbles and keep that resin a little bit more fluid. This torch seems to be running out of butane, so I will fill that up in a couple minutes here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start sprinkling my glitter on. I'm going to start at the bottom around that silver rim. And I'm going to toss some at the bottom of the cup. I don't mind if some of the silver is showing. I went into these cups knowing that some of that silver was going to show through because I didn't base paint them to match the vinyl. That was just a result of working on the bare stainless. So that was a personal choice. If your preference is to base paint it to match, do that. If you don't mind a little stainless showing through, do that. Just kind of getting down here so I can see the bottom a little bit better. And that is pretty good coverage, I think. So what I'm going to do is come up high and sprinkle just to have that glitter come up a little bit, but not like solid coverage. Just pick some up and spread it at that point until you get the level of glitter you want. And I think that's about where I want it, so I'm gonna dump this back in my cup and move up to the top. And I'm gonna do the same thing along the top edge. And sorry, my arm is in the way. There's not really a good way to do this. But you can see I'm just gonna hand place along that silver line to start. That piece I just picked out, you'll find those in glitter occasionally. It's where they went through whatever cuts the shapes. Sometimes you'll get a little stringy bit. I've kind of found that with all of the brands. So if you see one, just pick it. And this epoxy, because it was getting warm, is so thick that I suspect most of my chunky is going to lay down pretty nicely. But alright, so now I'm going to come in with just the pinch high and try and keep it above my decal again. I don't really want to go over my decal. And I'm probably not going to put quite as much at the top as I did at the bottom. So, I think I feel pretty good about where this one's at. I'm just gonna let it dry. I'm gonna clean up this rim just a little bit with my finger. I'm just gonna kind of push it back down onto the cup, not sticking up. Just because I don't want so much sanding to do, if any, later. So I'm just going to gently pat. This is going to get 2 more coats. You're not going to see the 2 more coats because they're just going to be plain old clear coats. So, but my bottom is mostly laying down already on its own. So I'm not really going to have to go in and do anything there. So, if you need some quicker cups, this is a good way to accomplish that. Like I said, it's unfortunate that the vinyl wrap, and like I said, outside in the summertime when it's hot, your hand is probably going to be warm enough to change it, but inside for me right now, it's just not. I'm just going to try and torch this a little bit more in between where the glitter's not. And I'll do it again after I fill my butane, probably once more. But I don't really see a whole lot of bubbles in here, so I'm actually pretty good. But I'm just going to get a little bit close for a second, just to let some of that color change come through. So, yeah, that's it. Simple. Relatively simple anyways. You can see where that color change hasn't quite gone back yet. But this will get 2 more coats just because I never let any cup go without at least 3. And that'll fill the chunky in the rest of the way. So that's it for this one. That is my Mom of Boys answer to yesterday's Mom of Girls. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time.